Welcome to Empowerment Through Intuition. Tonight is all about Christ consciousness and bringing in all the manifestation, all the celebration, all the great stuff that has been going on for everybody. Lots of sharing. I've been getting tons of stories, so I hope you guys are willing to come on and start sharing them actually online with the rest of us. I am Nora Truscello from Into Intuition. Stop by my website and visit me. And my co-host.
Hi, I'm Chris from Conversations with Chris, and I'm a psychic and medium and a teacher and a healer. And we have a little website and an online store for everybody to shop in because it's fun.
Hi, Michelle. Glad you joined us. Gina, Don, Joanne, nice to have you guys on board. We're going to start this week like we did last week, and sort of traditionally now what we're going to do going forward is a quick prayer of protection and just a quick blessing before we start. Chris?
Okay. Hello, Father. We come before you as our little group here grows and grows and grows. And as it grows around the world, we want to thank you for the protection that you offer and ask for more protection so that all of our communications are protected, our thoughts and our abilities are protected. We come to you humbly as your children and we say, happy birthday, because it's December and it's your month. For all those that believe in Christ Jesus. All right. Amen.
Amen.
Fast and fun.
Fast and fun. All right, guys, I've been hearing lots of really cool miracles and stuff from this whole manifestation thing. We technically only have 3 more days of me harping on it, but this is kind of the last time this year that we're really going to be talking about manifestation. So Chris and I were like, well, what's a better time to bring in Christ consciousness, the manifestation of the Christ into the world than at Christmas time? So we wanted to share a little bit about what that represents and how we can too manifest the Christ consciousness, the love and the joy that's can shift the world, change things just as fast and as miraculous as you've shifted stuff in your own life. And these miracles coming in, you can shift and manifest joy in the world and love. And that's what the whole Christ consciousness is about. You want to throw in anything? Hey, Christina, thanks for joining.
Well, I think it's also about trusting yourself,
Mm-hmm.
trusting God. Because if you can't trust yourself, you can't trust anybody or anything. So once you get beyond that hurdle, you can start to look at the higher and the bigger power and say, okay, he's there. Let me see if he'll take on some of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a lot of us are can-do people, and we want to can-do it a lot. We have a lot of hard times saying, okay, helpful Hannah, go sit down in the corner. And you're like, but. I did that for a lot of years. So I'm with you guys.
I still do it. See, and it's funny because what Chris was saying earlier today, I was just sharing this with Chris. I'm looking at all the beautiful things that have occurred for people, and I'm looking at what's occurred for me. I mean, I was standing for certain things, and there's a lot of movement, but not at the level I anticipated. For a person who's very conscious of the way I speak, very conscious of the words I use, very conscious of our thoughts or things. I mean, heck, I grew up with a mother that said that all the time. Mind is the builder, your thoughts are things. So you think I'm harping. Can you imagine growing up with a mom like that? It was great. But I realized there must be something more. And I was telling Chris, during like a quiet meditative time, I reached in and discovered this conversation that I was so a part of me that I didn't realize it was a part of me. And I just kind of plucked it out and handed it over to God and said, you're going to have to handle that. And for the rest of the day, I actually feel like I'm not the same person. Like I'm so altered because that has shifted. Now what can manifest now is unbelievable because I just took a block out that I wasn't even conscious of. We become so much a part of our conversation, so much a part of our thoughts. We don't realize when they're toxic or not healthy ones. So surrendering is huge, like Chris was saying, really huge, turning it over to God. So we are going to have Erin join us because Erin was talking about a really huge, awesome manifestation today. So we asked her to jump online and join us. So she's going to be joining us in a few minutes. But I really want to hear some of the other miracles. I know things are going on. Of course, you guys have messaged me privately, so I'm hoping that you have courage to say some of the awesome things that are going on for you. Because you send it to me privately, I don't think I can share.
No,
I
ethics
know.
says no, no.
I know. So put some stuff up. I had a really amazing manifestation for myself personally and for my business. Dr. Brenda Love, who's on the Dr. Oz show, is a guest, like one of his standard guests, actually asked me to come and present to her class. She teaches to a group of people once a month through her programs. And she asked me to be one of the guest instructors. And that's like such a huge honor. I was so blown away. And that goes with the manifestation of moving my business forward. So I was really happy. Natalie says, hello, I'm so happy to catch you live. Yes, thank you. We're happy you caught us live too. I've always watched you on YouTube to see you. Well, welcome aboard to the live show. Feel free to jump in there. And we really want to say, Gina, good job. We're happy you made it on time. Not at the end of the show. So, Chris, you want to talk any more about the Christ consciousness and what we mean by that?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, guys. I have a sore throat, so I just got to keep drinking. So I'm just like a camel
It's
over
the
here.
holidays. There's a little vodka in there, but don't worry about it. She can keep the thoughts going.
I wish. I'm a one and done date, so take me out. It's half a drink, and I'm under the table there, girls.
Oh, wait, I got to say, Sandy Stifer Scott has Carla, Sandy, Ricky, and Alyssa, all there. So they're all crowded around the computer like a TV set. Hi, guys. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The
Go ahead.
Christ
I just thought that was cute.
consciousness is within us. Everybody gets one. As soon as your soul is a being, part of your soul is that God spot inside of you. So I seen a little coffee cup recently at somebody's home that I visited, and it said, leave a little sparkle everywhere you go. And I thought, that's really cool, because when the angels talk to me and they really get excited, they leave a little sparkle. And you'll see looks like somebody just dropped like little sparklies in the air. And Nora and I call them God lights. And you don't always see them because they don't usually show anybody. But when they get super excited, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They can't help it. It's just like they're like little kids on ADHD, and they're like, and they shake so much you see their sparkles and their glitter. So that's what I kind of thought about. I thought, isn't that cute? Leave a
That is
little sparkle
adorable.
wherever you go. So you leave a little happiness, a little joy. It doesn't have to just be at Christmas time. It could be any time of the year. And we talked about
Right.
this last time, about just making that little smile come to somebody's face, whether it's a thank you, holding a door for them, giving somebody a sandwich because they look hungry. You tell them, you know what, I'm Italian. You could be
I got
German
it.
or Irish. I got to feed you. Here's half a sandwich. They might have eaten already, but, they're not going to turn it down. Why? Because they don't want to be impolite. So things like that, just let your inner beauty come out, no matter what kind of day you're having. Even if you're having a really bad day, try to do it on those days, because they're the times when
It'll
you got
serve
stuck
you.
in traffic and, there's silly drivers. Hello, sweetie. All right, bye-bye. All right,
Hey,
you got to go.
Tristan.
Go.
That's Chris's youngest.
Love you too, buddy. Yeah, he's trying to suck up for Christmas. That's what that's all about.
I got to say, this is so cute. So Carla mentioned everybody who's watching with her, which is Ricky, Bobby, and family are here. And Erin has herself, Claude, and Zachary. I love it. You guys have whole groups. It's so
Now
sweet.
we have a family theme going, huh? I guess it was okay. Tristan joined me, but he's sucking up
Yeah.
for Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. There's There's about 5 boxes in my living room, and he's dying to put his hands in them. And I told him, no, thank you.
Oh gosh, you said something about the little twinkling lights, and then my
The
my mind went
sparkles.
off. Yeah,
Leave a
because
little sparkle wherever you go.
Carla actually has a question that's asking us to make a prediction, and that kind of reminds me, Carla. You know what? We're going to do this for you because it's Christmas. We're gonna give you an answer, but Chris and I are going to. Are we doing it on January 2nd, Chris, or the
That's what you
following week?
just told me.
Okay, so we will be on January 2nd. We're missing next week because it is the Christmas holiday, right? We're going to give you our year's predictions. And the cool part is Chris and I really do not read on the same levels.
Not
I'll
even
read,
a little.
yeah, I mean, so when we're talking world events, weather events, stuff like that, we're going to be picking up different information. We're not sharing until like a couple days before the show. We'll just be like to have fun, see what each other got, but we're not going to sit together and say, well, what do you get, what do I get, so it sounds uniform. We're going to actually give it to you exactly as we're each getting it, so you're going to
That
know.
wouldn't be any fun.
It would be, yeah, it's more fun. You get to understand, like, hey, there's a lot intuition, psychic abilities. These are all spiritual gifts. The stronger you get spiritually, the stronger these things happen, but you can learn them also. They're all different wavelengths. There's no right or wrong.
It's like a radio dial.
Hmm.
Just depends. Like I might be
She turns into doom and
101.3.
gloom. I turn into happy go lucky. Oh, sorry. She's going to smack me. So anyway, I'm going to give one away. Carla wants to know. So I have a job I really want. I
We
keep
already
saying,
answered this one.
I know, I'm starting in January. I keep saying I'm starting in January. Oh, so she's just telling us how she's manifesting it.
Hmm.
Awesome. Good girl. Keep it up.
She will be starting in
Yeah,
January.
I know. Okay, oh my God, everybody's saying hi to each other. I love it. You guys are great how you all stick together. Shauna, I was rear-ended tonight in a hit-and-run accident. Do you see
Mm.
a positive result? Okay, guys, you're going to get us onto readings, and that's not really the purpose of
But
tonight's
you
show.
know what? Let me answer that,
But
Shauna, with
go
the
ahead.
rear end. Because you know what, Shauna? A lot of people have had mishaps in the last 3 months on here. And it always seems because we've been prayerful and we've been manifesting the best out of the least, that these things have shown out to be, let's say, silver linings in a black cloud. That something usually comes out that's pretty spiffy, and I'm not giving away anything.
Right. We're not saying anything.
I'm just saying it might not be as bad as it looks.
That's so true. I mean, how many times, just in general in life, when we look at situations and it's like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing that could happen. And a year or two down the line, it's like, wow, that was a blessing in a horrible disguise, but nonetheless, it was a blessing.
It's like horror night on Halloween, but you got it.
Yeah. And the whole thing is whether or not this person, your insurance company is responsible. Let's first be grateful that you're okay.
Right.
You're probably going to be sore tomorrow, but by the grace of God, you're okay. Um, Send love. Send love to that person who took off because there's something going on for them. Lack of money, most likely, because they don't
Lack
have
of
insurance.
insurance.
Right, they probably don't have insurance. And if they do have insurance, still the concern of can they afford this? Will their license be pulled? Do they have a drinking problem? We don't know. So, what's the Christ conscious way of handling it? He would just send them love. He would see them as perfect people in an perfect spirits, perfect whole little gods in an imperfect body and world trying to survive. And that's what we are. He came in as perfect and capable. We're not. And joining us now, ta-da! Okay,
Aaron,
Karen, can you hear us? You don't hear us.
not again.
Okay, well, she figures it out. She'll start talking when she hears us.
We got noise.
Hi. I hear you.
Okay, super.
Hold on
So,
just a second. Let me shut you up on the internet. There we go.
Christina, that's so sweet. Thank you. We are positive, aren't we? All right, Michelle saying hi,
Exactly.
Aaron. Aaron, make sure your mic, you're not getting tons of feedback. But I think you'll be fine. I am so excited for you to share what you manifested. So give the gory details that led up to what you did, and then what happened.
Okay. All right, kiddo. He says bye.
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 That's my Zachary. He is autistic.
He's
High
beautiful.
functioning, but you know what it's like, Chris.
Oh, yeah, you saw my little Tristan.
I did. I recognize the shining. Hey guys, so it's a backstory, and it's got a couple funny parts to it. But I am very plus size. I float very well, and then I'm hard to kidnap. um, but back in August, I was getting ready to was going to try to make the show that you guys did, and I had an opportunity to get away for the weekend. My husband and son were going camping with his family, and I just wanted to go to a hotel and chill, have it on one level, not have to worry about anything. I didn't expect the kind of vacation I got. So I step out of the shower, I get everything dried off, and I go to sit down to, start getting dressed and everything, but my leg literally slipped out and formed out from underneath me and formed the shape of an L, a backwards L, and then slipped back into place, and I lost conscious. Everything went black. Well, ended up having to go to the hospital, and there's a whole long story that I'm not going to get into, but let's just say that a friend was sent, prayers were said, angels lifted me up across a very long room, and God bless those angels. But when I get to the hospital, they did a bunch of judgment calls that were not cool. They wrote down that I was 650 pounds. Okay, y'all see me. Do I look 650 pounds? They medically treated me for 650 pounds.
Oh my God,
That's
that's
too
huge.
They
much
did not weigh
drugs.
me. They did not take care of anything. The orthodoc refused to do surgery. Refused. They did not cast me. They did not do anything. They literally stuck me in a bed, and no one wanted to touch me. All they did was drug me up and try to pawn me off on the nearest person. So they finally got me into all these, they called around, and none of the rehabs would take a 650-pound person, because that's what they were telling I was. So they get me into the rehab. Okay, nobody take a drink. It's the story. They get me into the rehab. I'm nervous as heck. And when I'm nervous, I start cracking jokes. And so they've got this Hoyer. I don't know if you guys know what a Hoyer lift is, but it literally lifts a big person or an injured person up from one bed to another, or a wheelchair, whatever. But it's almost like one of those swings. I looked at the nurses and the nurses' aides around me, and I said, I'm sorry. I can't control it. I got to do it. And they're like, oh, honey, we understand. We've seen just about everything. Just let it go. All right. I came in like a wrecking ball. I can't sing anything. And I'm swinging back and forth. And I forgot I didn't have underwear on. Yeah. They got a Rebel Wilson on them from Pitch Perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
That was the start of my journey with them. But even then, the
Okay,
doctors.
you got to pick it up a little bit.
Okay. Even then, the doctors still wouldn't help me, and then we had to fight to get a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got out of the rehab, after having everything done, nothing was still done. I basically had to heal myself. Well, that accident turned into a blessing. For 5 years or more, I have been fighting and fighting with my insurance. And I got the doctors on board. I've had 4 doctors fighting for me. And last week, Shauna Lewis in our group, hi Shauna, told me, she says, Erin, I just got this strange message. I don't know what it means, but I got told that you're going to get some really good news in 9 days. We both wrote it down on our calendars. Okay, let's see what happens in 9 days. Today is the 9th day, and I just got the call that after 5+ years of fighting for it, I got approved for my bariatric surgery today.
Yay!
Man, that is awesome.
It's going to save my life. It's going to give me mobility to be the woman that I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
God bless America. Thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is just wonderful manifestations.
And here's the thing is, if you guys remember, Erin had a huge breakthrough with her mother and her stepmother a little more than a week ago, probably about 9 days or more. She also
that's right.
she also stated, I'm going to have this surgery.
I did.
Yeah, so she created it finally happening and not holding it back. And whatever was blocking her from accepting it, she somehow removed, and boom, there it is for her.
There it is.
God bless. That's
Well, a
awesome.
lot of time, metaphysically, extra weight is protection.
Mm-hmm.
It's emotional protection.
And you know why?
Well, because that's the way we feel that we can hold it together and we can protect, and we stuff everything down.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're feeling like it might come up and attack us, we just eat something else and stick some more shit.
Exactly. It's our way of coping. I mean, I'm with
Chocolate.
you, honey.
Nora's pound cake, for instance.
Never mind the baklava, which is baklava.
Oh, forget it. That came in wet
Oh my
surface.
God.
Oh.
Oh, I'm telling you.
When emotions get to us, some of us eat, some drink, some go and exercise.
I do soda.
And get it out that way. Soda. It's all, but somewhere you will.
After that surgery, you won't get any.
I know.
You're not going to want it.
Break the addiction.
You're not going to want it. It's going to make a difference for you. It's a blessing.
No,
But back to what Nora was saying.
I am going to one day, and here's my prediction. I am going to stand right beside Chris and Nora and give them the biggest hug, because they're going to be walking with me, and I'm going to walk with them up on a stage someday.
Wonderful.
Oh, it'd be awesome. I would love to have you. That'll be so cool. Anyway, we're looking at doing now this is really in the so not done, but we are manifesting an animal communication event. So those of you who have pets who really want to understand how to communicate with your pets, we are looking at possibly sometime.
Mine would be sarcastic.
Go ahead, be sarcastic.
No, my cat would be sarcastic.
Oh,
he likes
yeah.
to cause trouble.
I'm sure, just because it's your cat.
Well, I got to tell you something, ladies, about the animal communication thing. I was at a home, I think it was yesterday, and they had an animal that wasn't doing so hot. And they said, well, we have an appointment with the animal communicator later that we use. I said, oh, okay. I said, I do that. She goes, really? I said, yeah. She goes, well, what's wrong with Susie? I said, okay. I look at Susie, talk to Susie for a minute. I said, it hurts. It's on the right side. It's pushing in it from the interior up. I said, she says she doesn't think you guys can fix it, but she doesn't want to go yet. Oh, okay. Later on, they call the animal communicator, calls and tells them the same exact thing.
Well, now we know the animal communicator's good because we already knew you were.
I was just laughing so hard. I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah, so that's what we're manifesting for 2019, probably in the fall sometime. It'll be interesting. And
That'll be
Michelle,
fun.
Michelle, knock it off. You're making me laugh. Nobody understands the humor except me, so cut it out. She used to work with me, and everybody got pound cakes who worked with me. And she's ranting now online. Where's her pound cake?
Tell her to get a job. Nora needs an assistant.
Yeah, you'll have to come and work for me, and then you get a pound cake.
She just feels sorry for me, Michelle.
Well, Nora, there's an idea. The psychic cookbook.
No, there's not an idea. Thank you very much. No, we are not manifesting that. We are manifesting Christ consciousness. So I want to challenge you guys. We have 3 days left to this 30-day manifestation thing. I want to hear some miracles, though. I really feel like, yo, you guys should, come on. Put down some of the stuff that's been going on for you.
You're Nora Wine.
I know.
And she's got a clogged nose. So she
No,
can do good.
I thought I'd fill the show up with all your stories. So Gina just said, I got pound cake. Yes, you did, Gina. Thanks, Gina. But Gina works with me. Gina helps me all the time, all right? So and by the way, that pound cake is to die for. So, okay, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I got one slice. The rest is gone.
But let's get back to
Christ consciousness in the pound cake. We got you.
That's it. So you bring some joy into the world by baking something for somebody that doesn't expect it.
Leave a little sparkle wherever you go.
Exactly. Even, you can at your local church, your synagogue, your, where you go,
nursing
place
home.
Of worship. What was that, honey?
The nursing home. I painted them a painting. It's still in their main entryway.
It's so much appreciated. People so much want these little things. It brings such joy. Notice on Facebook, we all stop and watch those really cute shows videos where somebody's making a difference for somebody else. And we get all welled up and we cry and then we move to the next video. Why don't we just create that ourselves? That's bringing Christ consciousness into the world. And when you have that mean and horrible family around during the holidays that you're stuck with, just use the old technique Chris and I talked about, more than a year ago. When that cousin or that aunt or that brother or sister are totally obnoxious, you can't stand what they're saying, just say to yourself, thank you, Lord, aliens didn't take them over. The body snatchers didn't get them. Make a joke of it. Make a joke of it. Have humor, because that's how we get through these things. And then send them love. You know what? If you really love a person, you love them the way they are and the way they are not. And they are not what we want sometimes, but we love them anyway. Doesn't mean we have to hug them. Doesn't mean we have to have coffee with them. Doesn't mean we have to invite them over every day. But while they're in our presence, send them love. It makes a difference. We can change the world. And bubble wrap yourself, as Shauna said. Great idea. Bubble wrap.
Yep. I do it all the time. Mm-hmm. Even when you're going into the malls, guys, or you're going into these...
bubble wrap yourself in the mall?
Oh yeah. Definitely. And in crowded stores like Walmart, Target. Like this time of year, you got all those energies bouncing around. Aaron, we don't expect you to be running the mall, but... You're just getting hobbling around.
Did you see the cookie dough picture?
No.
The not cookie dough picture? I sent my husband to the store for a tube of peanut butter cookie dough. And he came, he's sending me, wait, this is not cookie dough. It was cat food.
Ooh, well, at least you knew it before you tried to bake it.
should I buy it anyway? Yeah, we have a cat. Why not? He's like, this is not cookie dough. Why is it in there?
Thank you, Carolina. She's saying yes, it's that humor does break the ice. I was on a show earlier this week and I was giving them that same technique. I mean, Chris and I talk about it. Have fun in your mind and just say, look, aliens didn't take them over. But I told them on the show, if you really want to have fun, just go up to the person that's driving you insane because they're being themselves. Look them directly in the eye and say, I just want to say how grateful I am that aliens didn't take you over.
Oh
And
my
you
Lord, they'd
really
lock me away.
can you imagine the response? They're going to look at you. They're going to avoid you because they're going to think you're crazy. And this is perfect. They'll be on one side of the room. You'll be on the other.
Or you walk up and tell them how genuinely much you love them and you're so grateful to have them here. And that, aliens will be here later if they want to ride home.
No, Chris is right. You should probably do it Chris's way, especially since we're talking Christ consciousness.
Because they know sure as hell you don't love them.
No, I
But you're
know.
doing your best to get that Christness out of your chest.
Hey,
I
Chris,
didn't say you have to say you love them. You just say how much you appreciate that it's really them and not some
they're
alien.
spirits and they
Right.
don't like you.
I mean, zombies. Don't we have an issue with zombies in the world today? Aren't there
Body
like zombies
snatchers.
everywhere? Body snatchers? I mean, this
The
stuff.
Walking Dead,
Yeah.
isn't that what it's all about?
There you go. So we're just happy that they haven't been taken over.
There we go.
There
Well,
you
thank
go.
you guys for letting me share.
You're
Oh,
so welcome.
thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us.
All right. Love you guys.
All right.
Love
Have
you
a
Merry
great night.
Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Laura has an awesome question. Can one manifest with just thoughts?
Hmm.
Yes. Thoughts are things. Now, is it more powerful when you speak it with authority? Yes.
Yes.
But your thoughts are always manifesting. Always. So see that little thought that was in the back of my head that was so a part of me that I didn't even know was there was manifesting a block, a constant block, because it's a thought. It's controlling, but it can also be empowering. You can have an empowering thought. Um, I think I told you this story. When I was like 14 years old, I looked in the mirror and I said, "Oh my God, I'm beautiful." And my mom turned to me and she goes, "You are, honey." I never had an issue with my looks from that moment on, ever. And I had a nose this size on a little body. It was this size at that time. Can you imagine? And kids would call me names, but it never fazed me because my thought was, I'm beautiful. So it was done. It wasn't an issue. So thoughts are things and they can be powerful or they can be crippling. So the crippling thought, one of the many, I pulled out today and just handed it to God and said, whew. So yeah, absolutely. Thoughts. Can a house manifest something? Can a house manifest something? Yes. Yes, Chris, you agree?
Well, it's the
In a way.
people and the
Yeah.
energy that's in it that manifests it.
That's a better way. That's a
It's
better
not
way
the
to use
house itself.
it. Right.
It might be leftover energy from a negative source. It might be an open portal. It could be a lot of things that's going to manifest inside of it. Like every time we do construction and I open a wall or a floor or any piping or anything, I talk to the house and I tell it beforehand that the boys are coming in and we got to do a little work and it's going to hurt a little, but it's okay. And I put loving crystals in the walls when we have to take old walls down and put new walls up. The contractors think I'm absolutely nuts and I don't care. And I prep the house with love.
Yeah.
But your house, if it's old or it hasn't had enough love, you can cleanse it, you can talk to it, you can do some energy work in it, you can pray in it, light candles.
The house she's talking about is empty, Becky. And Becky, I'm going to tell you why I said yes right away. Because I had the experience of, and not personally, but I assisted. It was a
A group.
case that I worked with. No, it was just me with this case where a piece was haunted. An antique piece was very haunted. And literally,
Well, objects can have attachments.
right. So the fact that the house, if it has this attachment or if an item has this attachment, it's manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
And we think it's the house, we think it's the item. It ended up that this item was causing such havoc that a priest actually requested an exorcism be done, which is, I mean, first of all, exorcisms are pretty rare, let alone on an item,
Right.
on something not alive. But they understood the danger of what was going on. So, um, yeah, but you can clear it. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, you're the Becky from Virginia who works with a pretty powerful group. And if I'm wrong, let me know. But you know what to do. You know how to get in there and pray it out and clean it up.
Just
Uh,
make sure you're grounded first and that you're protected before
and
you go anywhere near it.
always, always. And when Chris was saying about bubble wrapping up before going into stores, obviously you have to pray up, bubble up. I always do the zip up. To prepare myself before going into any situation, even if I'm not leaving my house. Chris and I do a tremendous amount of work with
Mm-hmm.
people all over the world, and we never leave our house. It's
We
all
don't need to.
energetic, but we are bubbled up, zipped up, wrapped up, prayed up, and then our energy moves out, but it's safe. Yes?
Yep.
Agree?
And it's accurate and it works because
Yeah.
we've had it where people are like, wow, what'd you do?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Same
yeah.
thing we always do. We go in, we figure out what the problem is, and we fix it.
Yep. We basically say, God, here's the issue. Do you mind? Send down this one and that one and get it handled. Carolina, by the way, moving into her new place soon. How should I clean
Wonderful.
it and fill it up with love and trust?
Yes.
Depending on your belief system, I use holy water when I clean a place and the Lord's Prayer. Chris uses the American Indian smudge, but she's also praying nonstop while she's doing it.
And I use my happy holy water.
You have to find what it is that works for you. So whatever your spiritual belief system is, what you were born into is usually the best one for you. Use that belief system, use those traditional prayers, bring in the joy, bring in the happiness, and just bless the place and claim the place.
Claim it in the Lord's name because that will bring in the Christ consciousness into that area. And when there's light, there can't be dark. Just remember that.
hmm Thank you, Michelle. She's just acknowledging how you and I helped her out with this. And ladies, we have 20 people, 19 now in the group watching us. Yeah, yeah, we wanted to have, what did they say? We were going to manifest 500. So you
500.
could see, Chris and I are really good at a lot of things, but it wasn't, we're not manifesting the 500 people.
It's not time yet.
Yeah, it's not time, or we got a conversation or something. Hey, the thing is not to get attached to it and just know when it's meant to be, it's going to happen and keep moving forward. So that's funny. Thank you. Becky, okay, I'll clear it. I have just never heard of this. My brother called me to tell me this happened in or our mother's house. Okay, so it's your mom, honey. She's still not, it's her
She's
energy.
not crossed over.
She's not, yeah, she needs help. So you need to get in there and pray up and see in your mind's eye, mom literally crossing over, moving with angels.
Her
Um,
mother, your father,
well,
whoever.
whoever spirit was left behind in that house. Now, you can have your energy and a very strong part of you left in the house when you leave, and that part of you isn't with you and needs to be with you, even though you're not dead yet, okay? We're not talking deceased yet. So it's a healing. If you go in there and you help move that energy out, you're sending it back to the person where it belongs. Carolina, thank you so much. How much holy water and smudge? Oh, have my holy water and smudge sticks ready. Good girl. Laura, I love that, Chris. Where there's light, there can't be dark. Amen. That is so, so true. Erin, I have a loving request. Carla recently went through something devastating. Can we please add her to our prayer and loving support? Carla, she's fine and no longer in pain.
Sure.
Absolutely. So anybody in the group who likes to pray and help other people, please put Carla on. I've been telling you guys, radio and Hay House. Getting into Hay House is next to impossible without an agent. And try to get an agent. Been there, done that. Not that easy. But I could always give it more thought. Radio.
Nora's doing it.
I've been nonstop working the PR end of things and trying to get it moving. So it's all in God's hands. Her mom's still living, right? But that's her energy left behind. That's why I said that right after we said, if she crossed over or anyone else, or that a person can leave a tremendous amount of their energy behind. So
because they live there a long time, or they're very attached to that spot.
Right. Most often it's like this, they didn't really want to have to give it up or leave with this. Memories can hold part of your soul, part of your spirit, and it's like doing a journey when with a shaman. You're doing a journey and you go into your past and you retrieve a part of yourself and you bring it back. Every Wednesday when we do the meditations, we always do inner healing of a child within, because we're pulling in pieces of ourselves that we left behind. Now, your mom might not be conscious of this, so you go in there and you pray your mom's pieces back to your mom, because it's her energy, mostly. I don't know if you...
no, it's her energy.
It's her energy, because I'm trying to feel this.
And there's some grandmom energy there. So grandmom, well, she's trying to help the mother energy move, but once you get one moving, the other one will go with it.
You just need to get in there. But that makes sense. Thank you, mugwort stick. Oh. Okay. Carolina, let's see. I'll make space for her in my evening prayers. Thank you, honey. Shauna's coming, I guess, to the animal show when we get it together.
Okay.
All right. Caller. Erin, we buried my baby girl yesterday. Thank you. I'm already looking for signs from her. Oh, caller, we're so sorry. Can't imagine what that is like.
That's heartbreaking.
And thank you for being so open about it. Yeah, you definitely, I'll put you on my personal prayer list to get through it. And all I can say is there are no words. So I'll keep you in my prayers. So real quick, on that note, what an opportunity to send a lot of Christ consciousness out in just a loving way. Now, we do that all the time with prayer, but, take some time during this holiday to maybe see somebody who's hurt, who's sad, and just listen. Just be a listener. Don't try to talk to them. Don't try to say it's going to be better. Oh, time heals everything. Time will never heal the loss of a child. Time does not heal everything. But listen instead. Let them talk. And if they don't want to talk and they just want to sit in silence, sit in silence. That's a gift. That's a real gift. Give it to people, especially during the holidays when we miss our loved ones even more. We start to really feel the pain. Like, it's intense. I mean, my dad's gone 1 year, and it's weird. Like Chris said, I said to Chris, I said, I don't know why I feel more sad this Christmas. I mean, last Christmas was the first Christmas. And she's like, well, yeah, with the first Christmas, you're still in shock, so there's so many phases, and it's nice to just have people listen to you. It really, really is a beautiful gift. Oh, I didn't give you our commercial. Too late to get the jewelry on time. No, it's not. Tomorrow, if you place your order today on chrisgurganus.com, that still gives Chris time to get it to you before Christmas. So you got that person at work that you didn't get something for yet. You got a little girl, or you have a friend who just enjoys unique pieces of jewelry, or somebody who loves crystals. Check out Chris's site. You are not going to get such quality and well cleansed items anywhere else for the price that Chris and Elaine are putting them up for. And I am continuing my sale. Readings are only $99 for a half an hour, which is like more than 30% off my normal rate. For you just have to book it anytime you want in the future. Just it has to be booked before December 31st, because then I go back to my normal price.
And you have
generous.
she has gift certificates too.
We both do. Yes, thank you for reminding me. We do have gift certificates. So the energy of every occupant is present. Oh, that's an answer to something else. That I like this thing, the way it jumps around. Oh, Erin's been to your site. She says it's gorgeous.
Thank you, Erin.
I think so too. I really do. I love the items that you have. I've already like pinpointed a few for myself. And I'm not buying anybody anything. I bake. No, I'm teasing. I do buy some gifts. So, anybody else want to share about what has been manifesting? I know that Carolina manifested a beautiful apartment for herself.
Yay!
And she put that on Facebook, so I'm allowed to share it. It wasn't just a private message. Come on, guys. There are private message people out there. Chris, how about you? What have you been manifesting? Anything exciting?
Well, I did a lot better. I passed all my doctor's visits, and the podiatrist at Penn University was like, "How did you fix that? What did you do?" I said, "Who said I did anything?" He actually, after 3 weeks, he actually sent me a little note through the website. "So you're going to tell me how you did that?" I said, "I told you when I was in the office. I used holistic oils, and I just put them in different locations to help bring out the foot problem and to heal it." And he's like, it wasn't supposed to heal like that." I'm like, "Well, you just have to talk to God and put your oils on there and just tell him it's going to be fixed, and he fixes it."
That's definitely manifesting a healing miracle.
And as you can see, I'm losing weight.
Yeah, but I mean,
Just a few pounds at a time,
I don't
but
think
I'm doing
people
good.
understand how serious your foot issue was. I mean, it was a very serious situation.
Well, they were talking about amputation. That's how serious it was. I
Right.
mean,
And
they were straight up serious, said, "Well, you've got 2 weeks to make something happen. If it doesn't get better, we're going to talk about how much we have to take off and amputate. How many days you'll be in the hospital." I was like, yeah, I don't like that conversation. And I'm going, "Gabe, you hear that? Hello, anybody up there? Raph? Anybody around?"
so Chris takes it on immediately and just knows it's going to be well and calls on the angels and makes it happen. That's what's amazing.
Well, I said to him, I said, "Listen, Doc, we fixed the foot, and you totally took out my lower back because the little surgical shoe they gave me is like this deep. And it like your foot flops around in it. It's nothing right you're supposed to wear long term, but try and get like inserts." They're like, "Psst, 3 weeks, lady. It's Christmas, maybe 4." I'm like, "All right." And my hips, when I got to the chiropractor, were like this. He's like, "You're 2.5 inches off, lady." I'm like, "Is that why I feel like the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Can you fix it, Dr. Mike? Because I can't breathe."
Jeez.
So it really was causing one problem caused another, and it was being like a cascade. I was just like, "Angels, come on, like really?" And they're like, "We're going to fix it. Just go see this doctor, then go see that doctor, and tell that doctor you're not going to do that shoe anymore." And that's what I told them. I said, "You know what? Until your like little orthotics get here, forget it. I'm going back to my old." He's like, "That's dangerous." I'm like, "Well, so is not walking."
Yeah, exactly. Good
I'm for
you.
walking, Bubba.
And it's a way of manifesting. Shauna did say she wanted to be in the top of her company's earnings.
And she got
And
there.
she still is number 2 in the company's top earners list for December, which is
Wonderful.
not the norm for her. And she's thrilled. And that I do remember her saying came from just declaring it and standing for it. Laura, this is hysterical. I thought I'd like a new bumper for my car. Then I hit a deer. Overall, I'm thankful I'm okay, laugh out loud. But that we do that. You wanted a bumper. You had to figure out a way of having it, so you manifested a deer. We do that. And that's why sometimes the really what looks like a bad thing ends up being a good thing.
There's
Like
a
we were
silver
talking
lining
about in
to
the
it.
beginning. You know, you got your new bumper. Of course, there are easier, safer ways to manifest, guys.
Oh,
It
well, let
really
me
is.
add to that, because you know what? If my foot hadn't had that problem with the ulcer and me being diabetic, my insurance company wouldn't have paid for those shoes and they wouldn't have paid for those inserts. They would have been like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait till there's a need. And I was like, okay, doc. I'm like, you sure they're going to pay for it? You know, they're a bunch of cheapskates. He's like, really? Because there's not a choice. They can pay for this or they can pay for the surgery and all the long-term complications. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, you get it through and I'll talk to him. He goes, go see my guy here. I'm like, okay. And they paid not only for the shoes, but 3 sets of inserts, the one for the shoes and 2 extras in case I want to go dancing. In my sneakers.
That's too funny. Oh, Denise, thanks for joining us. She was out shopping late. We understand.
Oh, the crowds. Bubble up, Denise.
Yeah.
Bubble up.
Yeah, definitely. And I go watch it later on Facebook or watch it later on YouTube. Everything we do download to YouTube, including the meditations. Let's see who else. I'm gonna get one of them soon. If I hadn't fallen, I wouldn't have had my surgery. They would have to see it. They had to see it for themselves. That was Erin. So her broken leg, like she was talking about earlier, was a
Silver
blessing.
lining.
Nicole, welcome on. All right. I think no, 28 people just Erin, you're too funny. 29, Erin. Hi guys. Here at church waiting for my boys. Hey Tina. Oh gosh, haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. So back to the Christ consciousness conversation. It really is a mindset of living in this world to bring in God. You know, we think that we're here to work to pay our bills, to try to achieve more and have more for our family. And to a degree, yeah, that's kind of what we have to do as beings on this earth. And that's how we survive here, is doing that. And the more you have, the more you can enjoy. But what's our purpose for being here is the same purpose that Jesus had, which is to bring the Father into the earth. And he was our example. So through Christ consciousness, we are to be looking at people and trying to see ways of how we can bring in that light, bring in that love. And a real simple thing is to just feel it, imagine it, know it, that it's coming into the top of your head. First of all, it is coming into the top of your head. Those of you who can see energy very often see the movement of the energy up here. It is always coming in, it is always flowing through, it is always going out, it is never ending. And then it runs through the different meridians and alike. But basically, there's this massive flow. So let that massive flow come into you, consciously feel it and pay attention to it, and then send it out your heart to people. And that's a real beautiful way of sharing Christ consciousness when you don't have the opportunity to talk or be with a person. On the bus, on the subway, sitting in a waiting room at a doctor's office, fill that room, fill that subway car with that kind of love.
And you'll see the difference. Like we were saying
Mhm.
earlier, share a little glitter and leave a little on your way. Like a little trail of glitter wherever you go, and just make it part of God's love. Think of it as pink glitter, and you just blow it up and leave big pink bubbles wherever you go. And doesn't matter whether anybody can see them, you know they're there. And you'll see this, and you'll feel the shift in a room if you sit in a doctor's office long enough.
Mhm.
You'll feel the shift. People go from being grumpy to like happy and holiday cheer and listening to the carols, or something will happen where they'll hear something differently than they were before, 5 minutes before that. Happened today in the dentist office with my son. He's like, Mommy, how long is it going to take? Mommy, how long is it going to take? I'm like, I don't know, Tristan. I'll ask the man. And we could have been there for 4 hours. And I was just like, okay, let's rock this world. He's like, come on, guys, let's blow this up with pink energy, green energy, and let's make it rock. And the gentleman at the desk was like, oh, he'll be seen next. I was like, look at that. And then everybody stopped being so grumpy.
Very true. And Chris had a great example. When you're waiting and there's like a long line or something, you can sit there in your mind and say, oh, this is going to take forever. I hate this. I hate this. And it does take forever. What I do when I'm in a long line like that, I'm like, okay, this is going to move really fast and I'm just going to enjoy this time that I have here. And it moves. It really gives you what you expect. You expect it to be a delay, it's going to be a delay. You expect it to move, it's going to move. Michelle, I've been partially doing my financial manifestation, and my son announced he is getting married on December 28th.
Wonderful.
Whoa, that's only a week and a couple days away. Not what I was expecting, but I'm very happy for him. Things happen for a reason. Yes, they do. That's amazing. And a good luck. He's such a nice young man.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And please give him our love.
Well, the other thing I wanted to mention is when you're sitting in a traffic jam, everybody gets tooting and hollering and like wild animals, sort of. Well, New Jersey and Philadelphia, I can't speak for the rest of the world, but we're a little crazy over this way. So I'm sitting in 4 lanes of traffic today, and it was only lunchtime, and I'm thinking, oh, they're going to get crazy. Here it comes. So I'm like, let's just spread the love around. And I made this huge ribbon of pink love, and it just had folds and valleys. And I was like, come on, we're just not going to get stuck. We're just all going to get along, and everybody's going to get their way. And I'm telling you, it was like easy. Everybody glided. Nobody cut anybody off. There were no horns honking. I was like, see, thanks, guys. You guys rock. I said a little prayer. I said, thank you. And on we went. And everybody asked me, why don't you ever get stuck in a traffic jam? I said, I do from time to time. I said, but my angels, I send them in front of me and I tell them, can you unknot the traffic, please? Thank you.
Michelle gets road rage in department stores. Guys, Carla, I love what you're saying. That song she has, I sing in my head in those long lines, joy, joy, joy down in my heart. I sing that little kid's song all the time, and it's fun. It lifts me up. So great advice. Sing a little song in your head, especially a spiritual one. A lot of you guys are wishing each other Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and thanking each other for being part of this community. I just think that's so sweet. And Chris and I are so grateful that you guys are all a part of this community. We really have fun.
We do.
We will not be here next week because of the Christmas holiday. So we do wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We will be back on January 2nd with our predictions.
Yeah.
And we're both going to have probably different predictions on different things, but it will be quite interesting and a lot of fun. So we will see you on January 2nd. In the meantime, check out intuition.com and ChristineGurganus.com. Feel free to message us, send us an email if we can help you in any way. We're always here for you.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Sparkle.
Christmas. All right, my friend Chris, have a great night. See you later.
All right, my dear. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.